Welcome to Menopause Morph, your time to change. We're here to help you thrive through your menopause, bringing you experts in many fields to help you from perimenopause to menopause and beyond to become the strong, vibrant woman nature intended you to be. Hosted by Pauline McCarthy of the Pearls of Pauline, pearls of wisdom, compassion, and joy.
Hello, welcome to this week's Menopause Morph, your time to change. Today I'd like to talk about midlife midrift. That is that spare tire that's around many of our bellies. In our house we don't use the F word, we use another F word, we say fluffy. I am fluffy or I am cuddly. But sadly, even though we are sexy goddesses and bigger built, it's not very healthy for us. So it's something that we really have to focus on getting rid of. Many people look in the mirror and they say, oh, I'm fat, I'm ugly. And if you have this kind of attitude, you will find it more difficult to lose weight, especially if you are a stress eater. I'm a stress eater. And when you're stressed or don't love yourself enough, then you tend to eat more. Some women are the opposite and they tend to eat less or not eat at all when they're stressed. This is just as bad and they become extremely thin. So how can we overcome these problems of being a bit more fluffy around the belly? Most of it really is habit. We've grown up eating to excess. Our ancestors were hunter-gatherers way back, and they only were able to eat things that were in season. But nowadays we live in a perpetual harvest time. We can get foods from all around the world all year round. And what happens is we do tend to overeat. There are certain foods that are coming mostly in the autumn that encourage our bodies to eat more. Sadly, if we're getting these all year round, then we're eating more all year round. And as our metabolism slows down as we get older, we put on more and more weight. As many of you might know, for the last few months I've been getting help from Dr. Glenn Livingston. He was one of our guests here on Menopause Morph, and he had lost 60 pounds. And his philosophy is that you have to subjugate the lower brain, the what you call the lizard brain. And he has a name for his, he calls it his pig. And for me, I call mine my troll. We set many rules that I couldn't eat after the last meal at night. That would be the main meal. First of all, we made it 10 o'clock, but sometimes I work really late and I don't eat until 10 o'clock. And I was like eating like really fast, because like 5 minutes to 10. So we changed the rules a little bit that after the last meal at night, then I wouldn't take any more calories. Because what I was doing was I was having toast late at night, maybe midnight, 1 o'clock. I'd been working hard, and just before going to bed, I'll have a little midnight snack, which really isn't so good. And then one of the other rules was, like, I would only allow one bowl of ice cream a month, which is not a lot considering all the stuff that I had before. But I've been doing really well. And over that time period, I've lost 9 centimetres over my belly. I still need to lose about another 20, I would imagine. So my biggest problem, as I've said, it was carbohydrates, breads, mostly bread, but also that includes potatoes and rice, pastas. So one of our listeners wrote to me a couple of months ago now that she had went through this metabolic diet and had lost a lot of weight. I think she was encouraging me. So since I've kind of hit a plateau, last week I was in Scotland visiting my family, and there the clothes are much cheaper than they are in Iceland, so I was trying on some clothes. And if you're a little bit fluffy, like I am, it can be very soul destroying trying on clothes, especially if you think you're one size and you tend to discover that you're bigger than you thought. Especially if you're wearing elasticated waists. It hides a multitude of sins, but it also doesn't keep you on track of that you're expanding, basically, because the elastic expands with it. So it was not a very good experience, especially looking in these full-length mirrors at home. I tend to avoid. I have a full-length mirror, but I don't look in it very often, perhaps because I'm not happy with fluffiness. But of course, I know I'm a sexy goddess, and I know you lot are all sexy goddesses as well. But last week when I was with my sister, we were walking in a place just outside Glasgow called Mugduck Park. It's beautiful, and it was sunny. It was like 12 degrees centigrade, sunshine. The cherry blossoms were out, the apple blossoms, there was tulips, and it was just so beautiful. but it's quite a hilly place. And every 10 minutes or so, we had to sit down and get my breath back. And this is not what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. I want to be able to walk for some hours, and take my dog for a walk, or maybe in the future have grandchildren, take them for a walk, and not have to sit down every 10 minutes. And this fluffiness around my belly is holding me back dramatically. So I would say I still have about 20 kilos to lose, which is, I think, 44 pounds. It's still quite a lot. I know that the problem is carbohydrates, so I looked into this metabolic diet, and if you Google it online, there are many different companies or groups that do different versions of the metabolic diet. It's actually a sort of continuation of the Atkins diet, so basically it's a lot of protein and salads and almost no carbohydrates at all. So I'm going to be doing this for the next 21 days. They say that after 21 days you get new habits, and since I have grown up eating lots of unhealthy things, I know that after 21 days then I'll have new habits. I was doing really well with Dr. Glenn. That was like December, January, February, March. So 4 months I did really, really well, and most of April. And when I went to Scotland, there were so many things that I hadn't eaten for many years, special cakes and biscuits and chocolate bars, and I'm afraid that I slipped, backslided, or whatever you want to call it. So now I really have to be serious in this, and so it's quite unusual, this one. They have loading days. They call it, the first 2 are loading days, and you take some homeopathic drops under your tongue. I'm not exactly sure what that does, but I'm going to find out, so that by the end of this I'll be able to report it back. I'm going to get a lady on to talk about it that knows more about it. She's meant to be telling me about it, but I've been just so busy I haven't read all the stuff she sent me. But I've read enough to know that the basics, so this is what I'm going to do. Today was my first loading day, and you have to eat as many calories as you can, which I've really enjoyed today. And then tomorrow, my second loading day, and tomorrow's the 1st of May, and here in Iceland the unions have a big parade, and then they have a big coffee and cake party. So the last few years I've been avoiding the cake there because I've been trying to cut down on sugar. So this time I'm going to overload on cakes because it might be my last cake ever. We shall see. Hopefully I'll be in the new habit of just eating lots of protein and lots of salad and vegetables and things. Then I have the 21 days of just protein and the salad. And yeah, there's some protein shakes that you take in the morning. And there's a lot of vitamins and supplements and things as well. I've been reading testimonies of this kind of diet has helped them with their menopausal symptoms and with arthritis and things like that. And my arthritis has been getting a little bit horrible recently, which I want to improve. So this will be my experiment. I will try it out for 21 days and I will report to you. So after 2 weeks I'll be on again. So I'll be like 2/3 of the way through the programme, and I'll be able to let you know if it's had any effect. Then after the 21 days, I think it's like a 3-month or a 6-month period where you can eat a bit more, but you can't eat still processed sugars and things like that. Hopefully it's not a fad diet that, you just lose weight for the intense period that you do it, and then later on you put on even more, because I'm determined to spend my golden years with golden health, and I'm sure if you're listening to this you want to do the same. We want to morph into beautiful butterflies. We don't want to be held back by ill health, and carrying all this extra weight around does make our health worse. And back problems, all this weight on the front, it pulls on the back, so many times I have really bad lower back pain. So I'm looking forward to losing this, and I would really appreciate it if you have any stories of increased weight, some special techniques that you do to help you with your weight problems. Any questions at all, please send them to me at pauline@menopausemorph.com, and I will write to every single one personally. Also, a little funny story. When I was a teenager, I was at college, Glasgow Arts Centre, that taught drama and sculpture and painting and singing and things. We had a school magazine, And I was the one that did the agony aunt. And I was like, just like 17, 18, 19, these kind of ages. So now hopefully I have more experience. The kind of questions that I was answering then were about boyfriend and girlfriend problems. But now I'm here to answer all your menopausal problems. So feel free, ladies. I get letters all the time. So don't feel that you're disturbing me. I really appreciate it. And I know that actually people are actually listening to this. And I invest a lot of time to do this. Editing it and putting it online and finding interviewees. So I love doing it, but I need some love back. I need to know that people are actually listening. And if I have replied to you and I've promised to send you something or do something and I haven't done it yet, please write back to me and remind me, because you know that I have this memory problem. Menopausal memory problem. Hopefully it's getting better. So, my darlings, until next week, I'll say good night or goodbye. Take care. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Menopause Morph, your time to change. If you've enjoyed the program, be sure to subscribe to the next one and please leave a rating and review on iTunes to help us spread the message about thriving through the menopause. To get a free ebook, more menopausal resources, and to connect with Pauline, please visit www.menopausemorph.com.